And so with us, we have from the IT department or from Tech Advance. Sometimes you'll hear us say TA. TA is short for Tech Advance. My name is Chuck Leash. I have been with Tech Advance about 10 years now. And we also have John Wood, help desk manager, and just a great guy to ask questions to. So don't be afraid to reach out to him at the help desk, and we'll make sure that he posts his email address and contact info in the chat here. And you may see, I'm just going to go across the top of my screen. Who's next? Next, we have Derek Hildebrandt. He's with Scripture Accessibility. There's Derek. Thanks for joining us, Derek. And he's working with Marv Lucas on that final mile of when the translation work has been done and publishing it either in a printed form or digital form. So thank you, Derek. Next I see on my screen is Mancho. And Mancho, is your icon, is that like a brain or what? I've
That's
been
right.
looking at
It's a brain.
It's a brain. Okay.
Yes.
Welcome. It's great to have you, Mancho. He's it's just been a blessing to work with you for these last 8 years, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And Marv Lucas is also here somewhere in my chat window. And Marv is the director of Scripture Accessibility. And he has taken something that needed to be done and made it into a very viable dynamic group. So just great job, Marv. I'll get it. Thank you. I'm still admitting people, so there's still people joining, and but we're recording. So thank you, John, for posting. If you look in the chat, look down at the chat at the bottom, you find your chat by moving your mouse button, and a little dock should pop up. And we're going to use the chat a couple times during this meeting here. But while we're waiting, let me share my screen. And what I would like for you to see here, click the share button, is Team Zoom can do closed captions in your language. So the way to find that is there's the closed caption button right down here. If you don't see it, you may need to click on more. If you don't have that button, click on, click on the more to expand it, or grab your Zoom screen and expand it. And then this closed caption button will show up. Then I want you to click on this upper caret here to expand, and you should now get this right there. Is everybody seeing that so far? You can just raise your hand in the chat if you can see it. And John and Mancho, if you could be monitoring that for me. I see somebody said something in chat. Or, okay, John Wood's got it. Okay. Is everybody else seeing that? Or is anybody needing any help with that? Got a thumbs up from Juan. Thank you, Juan.
I'm here in Cameroon. I need help. I think I'm hearing you. Is that okay?
You can hear me. Good.
Yeah.
Le processus qu'il commence à montrer ici, c'est principalement pour les francophones, pour que vous ayez la traduction en français dans les captions. Et donc, si vous pouvez suivre ce processus, ça va vous aider.
Je suis bien, Marc. Ça va?
Is anybody?
The one thing I would add is if a participant is not going to be speaking in English, he or she should put the speaking language also into the language that he's speaking rather than English.
Sure. Okay.
For most of us, that'll be English, but for some of them, they may want to speak in French and have it translated for us.
Do you want to, why don't you go
Donc,
ahead and articulate that better?
donc
For me,
ici,
it's okay. I speak both languages. So French, I speak French and English. I don't know if Francis is around. I think if he's not there, I think I will work with him to see to ensure that he get everything.
OK. Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui ne comprend pas bien l'anglais? Ou tous nos participants francophones comprennent assez bien l'anglais?
And if you could,
Or maybe my French is really bad.
No, it's not bad. It's okay. I think I'm.
If you could give me a thumbs up or just type in yes or working or something, just so we know that you're able to, as I speak, that you're getting a transcript in your language, that you can understand what I'm saying. Thumbs up. Thank you. Guinea. Thank you, Max. Gisela. John Wood. Sullivan,
And
thank
Sullivan
you.
just said yes.
Thank you so much. Just want to make sure that I'll just keep talking here so there's good text coming across. But so the idea is you click on the hide captions. That box should pop up. Make sure the translation button is clicked on. Make sure my speaking language is set to your language. And make sure my caption language is set to your language as well. And it should translate from my English into the language of your choice. Are we good? Should I go on, or is there anybody still trying to configure that? Nope, I see that I have some bunch of people still joining. I'm just clicking the admit button right now. So welcome if you're just joining us. Thank you for joining us. And we're just talking about how to have closed captions set to your language. So if you look at the screen I have there, click on the hide captions, that little up caret, and translation on, my speaking language to your language of choice, my caption language to your language of choice. And then we'll let Zoom's AI do the magic in the background and translate my English into French or Spanish, or I'm not sure if there's any other languages here represented. And I would appreciate a thumbs up or a got it in the chat. So I talked about chat a couple times here. The chat is and also in that taskbar down there. You should know where that is. If you click on it, you should see our dialogue, and I will be dropping some text into that chat during the seminar today. So you're going to be going to be aware of how to get to the chat. So
Chuck, and also if they are writing to you directly, they have to check in the part, say the message to, if they select meeting group chat, all us gonna see it. But if they select only Chuck, you only are gonna see it.
Okay, very good, Mancho. I appreciate you saying that. So what Mancho is saying is, in the chat, you have the option of who to send your message to. You can send it to everybody that's on the meeting, or you can direct it to John or Mancho or to myself or Marv or Derek for that matter. So I'm going to continue on here. We're going to talk about WAX. So what is WAX? WAX is an acronym, and it stands for Wycliffe Associates Content Server. So the Wycliffe Associates Content Server, there's the URL to find it. It's wax.bibletranslationtools.org, and I will drop that URL into the chat later on. And you may be thinking, what is WAX? Well, you can think of WAX as kind of our online cloud, if you will. It's for the backing up, safekeeping, and sharing of translated data. We use it as a companion for BTT Writer. So we're going to talk about creating an account on WAX. And there's 3 pieces of information you need to manage your WAX account. The first thing you need is you'll need an email address. So if you do not have a WAX account today, then we're going to create one. And you're going to want to use an email that you have access to today, because WAX will send you like a verification link. With WAX, you can only create 1 account per email address. With WAX, you are also going to create a username. In BTT Writer, we will log in with that username. In WAX, we can use either your email address or your username. In BTT Writer, we only use your username. The third piece of information you'll need to remember is a password for WAX. So when we're going to go to this later, but when you do go to WAX, you'll see a register button up in the upper right, and I have a red arrow going up to that right there. If you already have an account, you'll click on sign in, but we're going through the steps of making sure that you have an account this morning. And you see there, it says this is an online repository. Sometimes you'll hear us use the term repo instead of repository. And so you may think, well, what is a repo? Well, I just gave it away. Repo is short for repository. When you think, well, now, what is a repository? I would define a repository as a unique collection of files and folders for one translation project owned only by one person. So if, for example, let's say Prosper uploads a translation project they're working on, Francisco or Christian or Carla or Alfeda cannot modify it. They can't delete it. They can't change anything in it. It's owned by you, the person that uploaded it. Do you have any questions or comments about that? About what a repo is, or a repository, or the whole concept of what this looks like? It's a good time to put a question in the chat. Oh, and I see somebody else joined us, so I'm going to admit one more person here. Okay, well, welcome. No questions? Good. Okay. I think for many of you, you maybe have covered repositories in WAX before, but we just want to make sure that you have the opportunity to have a question if you have any. So let's just take a look at inside of WAX and inside at a repository. So when you log into WAX, sort of two pieces of information make up a repository. One is the username or your account. The second is the repository name. So now many people can have a repository of this name. Tech Advance can have one, John can have one, Chuck can have one, Jose can have one. We can have multiple repositories of rw-x-kenyabwasa.reg. Each one is unique. I cannot alter John's. John cannot alter Jose's. Each one is unique. And in this repository, you can see right there, there's a file. And these files are inside of directories. And all these bits and pieces make up a repository. All right. Let me stop sharing here. Okay. I believe I've stopped sharing. Am I still sharing my screen? I like to think I've stopped.
Now we can see your smiling face.
Ah, great. Outstanding. All right. So let me share my screen back here to so we should be seeing the WAX screen now.
Yep.
Okay. And so for those of you who have not yet registered, we're going to go ahead and click on the register button. And when I registered for WAX, I created my username as Clash, Chuck Leash that grew up on Ash Street. You may want to have a username that that other people can find you. If you're sharing data with other people, you know, or if we go and look for you, it might be nice to have something in your username that helps us to identify you. Now, if you're working in a difficult situation or a situation where it's dangerous for you or for your family or for your church, you can use a pseudonym here. You know, and a pseudonym is like, how would you say it? Maybe like an alternate name or like a nickname that you go by that only your friends know. Or only the people that need to know. So, you know, so if you're working in a sensitive area, you probably don't want to put your full username out there. It's a way to protect yourself. So I made my account called Clash, and I use my Wycliffe Associates email address. Oh, that's really wrong. And then I put in my password. And then you have this CAPTCHA. And I usually get this wrong. For some reason, it takes me a couple tries to get it. But to me right now, that looks like if I was creating an account, I would type in 867098. But I'm not creating an account because I already have one here. So if you don't have an account, let's go ahead and create one right now. Does everybody have a Wax account, or would anybody like to make an account right now? So if you could indicate that you do not have a Wax account, if you could put that into the chat or raise your hand. Oh, Prosper. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You
I don't have. I'm trying to create one now.
Outstanding. Ernest, you do not have an account? Okay.
No.
Okay, Ernest, is this a good time for you to create an account? Can you go ahead and do that? Sullivan, excellent. This is perfect. This is what we want to do. So we're right on the money here. We want you to create an account. So go ahead and create your username. And if you need help, just write it, and one of us will help you. How are you doing? How are you doing, Ernest and Sullivan? Are you making progress? Okay. John, can you contact Ernest directly and chat with him, please? For a favor?
Sure.
I'd appreciate that. Por favor. And does anybody else need a hand creating a Wax account? Yes, please. Excellent.
I think Ernest might be replying to me. I messaged him privately.
Excellent. Go for it. Would somebody like to help Sullivan? Mancho, are you available to help at this moment, or
Yes, I can do it.
Jose or somebody? Okay, all right.
Oh.
If you
Sullivan.
could just contact Sullivan directly and, so Sullivan, you should be getting a message directly pretty quick here.
Sullivan.
And also, Prosper, how are you, my friend? Are you making progress? Where did Prosper go? Nope. I think Prosper is having internet problems. He just came back. Well, Prosper's waiting here. Or well, Prosper's rejoining. Okay. Hello, Prosper. I see you're back. Alfreda, I have a server account. Excellent. Thank you for letting me know that. Good work. Is Prosper gone again? Oh, Prosper, you're here. How can we help you, Mr. Prosper?
I just went to activate the Wax account.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
you got the email to activate it.
Yes.
Okay, and you clicked on that,
Yes.
and now it's working.
Hopefully so. Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll wait until Sullivan and Ernest have their accounts, and then we'll go to the next step.
Okay.
Just to let you know, Sullivan, the next step on my screen here is you see the sign in button in the upper right corner here?
Yeah.
We're gonna click on that next. So you can go ahead and click
Okay.
on that right now.
I think my problem, I don't have the link.
What link you need, Sullivan?
To a created account.
The website?
Yeah.
Chuck. Oh yeah. You're gonna copy and paste in the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.
I have so many windows open, I can't find it. There it is.
Oh,
Christian
Hey.
almost beat me to it. It was a race. I knew somebody was gonna just about beat me there. Do you see that there, Sullivan? That link you can
Yes,
click
I
on in
saw
the
it.
chat?
yeah.
Excellent.
Now I'm in.
You are great. Okay.
I'm about to create my account.
And so once your account is created, we're going to click on that sign in.
I see 3 new accounts today so far.
Excellent.
Okay. Quick question.
Sure.
on the issue of my email, which email do I use?
Which email I would use the email that you have access to the easiest.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make sense, everybody? It's
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my Gmail account.
perfect. That'd be great.
Okay.
One other thing I'll show while we're waiting for Prosper is if you ever forget your password, you just go to wax.bibletranslationtools.org. You click on the sign in, and there is a forgot password button. You can click on that, and it will send a password reset link to your email address.
Okay, my account is created now.
Outstanding. Okay. Well, then
Thank
go
you.
ahead and go to the wax BibleTranslationTools.org and click on sign in, and you should see this page right there. You say sign in, username or email. And then password. And the thing to remember is BTT Writer only uses username.
I'm a little bit lost.
Okay.
I'm already signing and I have on my screen activate your account. And
For your email inside of your email.
let me go to my email. Oh, okay. My account is activated, but I'm trying to find the Bible translation tools you talk about.
So do you, if you go to the chat in Zoom,
In Zoom. Okay.
yeah, Christian posted the final link, the final thing in the chat that Christian posted. You can click on wax.bibletranslationtools.org in the chat, and that should pop up.
Okay.
And then you should see what I have shared on my screen here.
Mm.
And let me know when you see what I'm seeing.
Okay.
And if anybody else has any questions, this is a fine time to put them in the chat and we'll be happy to help. I'm trying to decide who's got the best profile picture. My goodness. I see somebody with a bow tie on. Mancho's brain, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Carla's got a guitar, that's hard to top. I think Tomei with his tie is gonna have to be the it's very good. How are you doing, Sullivan? Are you able to find the logon screen?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm
What
trying.
what are you seeing on your screen?
Okay, let me go back. Oh,
What are you seeing, Sullivan, on your screen?
I'm
Can you walk me through that?
I'm at my dashboard, and then there are few tabs, there are few items like issues, pull requests, milestone, explored, Bible in every language, and help.
Excellent. So you've logged in. Well, very nice.
Right.
All right. Well, the rest of us are going to log in too. So if you haven't, put in your username or your email address. I'm going to put in Clash. I'm going to put in my email address. Remember this device and sign in. And everybody should, Sullivan, this is what you see is probably about what I see right now, isn't it? Issues, pull requests, milestones, explore.
Right.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Well done. And let's see. So Ernest, are you logged in okay? How are you doing, my friend?
Yes, I'm logged in. Thank you.
Well done. And I think
Is one of, I was just going to ask, is one of you Happy 1971? I see a new user, Happy OAD, Happy 1971 with a never signed in.
is that HAPY?
HEPPY 1971.
Happy. Okay. Well, if everybody's signed in, then let's do a little explore the interface a little bit here.
Okay.
So we talked about repositories. Here, my repositories for my account Clash. And these are all the ones that I've worked with. And each one of these is unique. There's not another Clash WYY mark text out there. If there is another WYY underscore mark text, it's a different repository and they can have different data in it. Nobody else can modify mine unless they're an administrator. I want to show you the Explore button now. So if you click on Explore in the middle there, there are three different things you can search for. You can look for a repo, you can look for a particular user, or you can look for an organization. So when I search on organizations, these are like larger organizations that we all belong to, like Tech Advance, the WA catalog, Lakhratu, which is in Indonesia. There's Papua, and you can see their repositories for them. You can also explore on users. So if I want to see what, for example, what Max is doing, for example, I can click on Max's and I can see all of his repositories. And I can even click and look inside of his repository.
Only admin, right?
I believe you asked, is that unique to me?
No, what I'm saying, I said, if you have administrator rights.
Oh, if I had administrator rights, I probably could go into an administrator panel and do some work on it. But normally, your normal user, like you cannot do anything to Max's account here.
Correct.
Right. So and Max or anybody cannot do anything to your account. They can't delete it. They can't modify it. They can do a thing called, they can make a fork of it.
Okay.
So the other thing I want you to do a search, let's go back to Explore. And now I want you to find a repository. Give you a little homework challenge here. I want you to go to, oh, there it is. I'm sorry, I've got too many screens up. I'm pasting this in the chat. I want you to see if you can find that repository now. TES-T-language_Jude_text_reg. So based on what I've taught you from here, from this screen, where would you go to explore and find that repository that I just put in the chat? And when you've got it, you can give me a thumbs up or something.
Okay. I have seen it.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. Is it should be, it's on it seems to be on what I'm saying is on JD Woods.
Very nice. Thank you.
So what I did, I copied it and put it into the search engine, and then it was able to generate.
So you clicked on Explore? Is that what you did?
Yes, I click on Explorer, then I copied the text, and then I place it in the search engine.
You clicked on search just like this?
Yeah, I paste it in the search engine.
Well done. So, and you've already, so what's the two unique pieces of information here? One is the
One
repo
is
name.
lessons, and the other one is manifest. I think it's 3, right?
Okay. Right, so let's click on it. Let's go inside of it.
Yeah, I'm inside.
Okay, great. So what you see, this is exactly what BTT Writer has on your local machine. This is just an exact copy.
Okay.
So since this is John's repo, John, is there anything you want to tell us about this repo, or any little maybe assignment you want us to do?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Chuck not to follow along with what I'm talking about, because I want each one of you to do this assignment.
Okay.
As you know, if you've done the first week's lesson, we're going to have a feedback form for you afterwards, where you will be able to say that you were here and you watched the video. On that feedback form, there's a place for questions or comments. And what I'm going to ask you to do, I want you to put into that question or comment form. So what you're looking at here is a BTT Writer repo, and you can see there's a folder called 01.
01.
That folder is for chapter 1 of whatever book this is. And so I'm going to ask Chuck not to click on it, but if you do click on it, inside that folder, you will see one or more files that have a .txt extension.
Right.
Those files are each a chunk of scripture, and the number of the file name gives you the number of the verse that begins that chunk. So for your homework, I want you to go to this repo, and I want you to look inside that folder and find out which chunks are available inside that folder. And I want you to write that on your feedback form that we're going to give you the link to in just a minute. Is that what you were thinking, Chuck?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Now, another thing that Chuck talked about is if you wanted to copy this repo into your account on Wax, you can do that very easily by going over to the fork button on the right-hand side there. And Chuck is drawing around it right now. When you fork a repository, it makes a complete copy of that repository in your account. And so if Chuck does this, go ahead and click Fork Repository there, Chuck. Now you can see up in the top there, Clash. This is a new repository in his account, but it has exactly the same content as the repository that's in my account. And so now he could start making changes. He could do other things like that, and it wouldn't affect mine at all. So he's going to create a file here just to show that he's able to make changes to this account, where normally in my account he wouldn't be able to do it. Unless, of course, he's an administrator. Are there any questions about that?
Yeah, I need some.
So what I want you to do is I want you to go to that repository. Sullivan, your audio is breaking up, so maybe you could type it in the chat.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and type my assignment in the chat too, so that it's easier to see.
So what I would like to point out is this, I have two tabs up here on the top. If you look, I have in this right tab, I have John Wood Wax account, and on this tab over here, I have my Wax account. So when I look at John's tab, we see chapter 1, the license, and the manifest. And then I went ahead and I forked it. And now let's look at my fork. I'm going to go over here. And I have everything that he had. And then I went ahead and I added a file. And I added test. And that only added it to my manifest. It did not add it back to John's manifest. And if we look at John's manifest, there's 4 forks to it. Myself, Christian, Jose. I just see.
Adriana.
Adriana. And I have no forks on mine. So, the assignment we would like for you to do is to go ahead and fork it. Fork John's repository. So go ahead and click on the fork button here and fork it to your Wax account. I'll draw some arrows so you can see it. Let's go up there to that fork button and fork John's account instance. In what? So we have a question here in the chat. In what instances will there be would require or when you need a fork? That's a great question. We're sort of
we're almost out of time, but the main reason would be if you want to take something and make changes to it, like with a revision. And there are ways to push your fork back to the original. And so if you're collaborating with somebody, but you aren't able to go to where they are, that's something that they can do. It's not something we do a lot in Wycliffe Associates.
Right. Good. Thank you, John. Yes, it's kind of an advanced topic, and probably just be aware it can be done at this point, and maybe as an advanced topic, we'll get into it further. So another reason is, let's say you're working with somebody and they are no longer with Wycliffe Associates. You could fork their instance and then start working with it, or you could import it into BTT Writer and then export it back out to Wax. So thank you. Thank you, Punji, for asking that question. So we're about 5 minutes to ending here.
I've put the link for the feedback form in the chat.
Yeah,
So if you go to that, you'll be able to put in your name and email so we know you attended this class. Remember, for those of you who are going to be attending the training in Nairobi in August, we want you to have attended at least, I think, 9 of these 12 classes. And go ahead and answer those questions as well. We got some good questions in the any questions part from last week, and we've been reaching out to people individually to answer those. So that's also a good thing for you to do if you have any questions about today's lesson or about other parts of the work.
There's one of the review questions I'm seeing now that I did not cover. So in a repository, we have this format of, there's your directory, chapter 1, and there's files inside of it. How do you see it in a nice human readable form or a nice presentable form? See in Reader, you can click on that. And it normally gives you a nice formatted. So let me try something else here. Let's try this RW-X.
Yeah.
Open up a different.
The test one was not intended to be read.
And I see this one in Reader. There we go. So if you click that See in Reader, then it takes it and it formats it for you in a nice readable format as you would present it to somebody. And you can navigate through the chapters here. And if you click on the gear, there are some more details for you to look at. So we can take we can take most any repo, and it can be displayed in a nice human readable format. There we go. So this is something I just uploaded. This is from Fiji, from an island of Fiji. Wase, I know, means chapter, so this is chapter 2. And you can see a nice superscript verse markers. Looks very nice. I can scroll through it, and I can go to the next chapter. It just barely started.
Jack?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yes, please.
You can repeat the steps?
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. I appreciate you, Christian. So let's say that I'm at that I'm here at this point, and I want to look at a repo that I've uploaded in a more human readable format. So I clicked on this. I clicked on the this icon in the corner here, brings me back to my repos. These are my repositories here, are the ones that I have access to. And then what I did is I clicked on this repository right here to open it up. So go into your repos and then click on the one you want to look at. And all I'm seeing is this sort of human readable, or these files that are not formatted for human consumption, you know, for easy reading. So the way you do that to see it is you click on See in Reader. You click on See in Reader. It takes what's in those folders and it takes the repo, formats it into into something that's more you can show somebody, or something that's more easy to read.
Thanks.
Did that help? So we are about out of time. I want to about out of time. I want to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to fill out the questionnaire, especially those of you who are planning to attend the training in Kenya. This is a prerequisite for that class. So once you go through that, and then submit that, and then we'll have a record of you being here, and we'll be able to help you further. So. Well, I think we made some good progress today. We got some accounts made. Yeah. Got to see some faces of some people I met in the past. I'm happy to see everybody again. Are there any more questions before we end our call? And we will meet next week at the same time. John or Mancho, do you have anything you'd like to add here before we end the meeting?
No, I echo that it's good to see everyone. And I hope that if some of you are having difficulty with the English, the automatic translation of captions was helpful. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. I don't know if the text chat for the tech training is available after the end of the meeting. So grab any links in there that you need. Email us at helpdesk@techadvancement.com if you have questions. And I will look forward to seeing you next week.
Excellent.